Welcome back to the Beard Bros podcast. Hope you're having a blessed day. We want to introduce our new guest today. It's Corey King. What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
What's up, guy?
Before we jump into the podcast, you know what I'm about to ask. Like, subscribe, share with a friend,
Smash it.
your brother, your sister, your mother, your daddy, your grandma, your grandpa, your cousins, your half-sister, half-brother, step-brother.
That
I don't
chick you
care.
trying to holler at.
Whatever. Y'all can watch it.
Your sister's at your
You can
girlfriend.
Beard Bros podcast and chill.
Your sister, that your girlfriend?
On that note, we want to jump into this. If you don't recognize him, he is. Let's let you describe yourself. What is it you do?
Well, right now I'm the reporter for KRQE News 13. For the last 5 years it is now, I've owned and operated the Chaves County News Network, reporting like breaking news and stuff here in town. I guess I'll just roll into it. I started with news, I guess. I moved back from Houston. I worked in the oil refinery.
Okay.
And I chased a storm out there. It's all tornado.
Okay.
So I moved back here, and I noticed like we were underrepresented for weather. Nobody knew what the fuck was going on. So I started on my own Facebook page, just updating people and stuff. Over time, the Roswell Daily Record hit me up and said, "You want to do news?" Short story short, they basically told me, and us as Roswell High, you need to report more Artesia football and sports. I was like, yeah, this is the Roswell Daily Record, ain't it? And they were like, our sponsors are out of Artesia. I'm not.
So you're telling me that Artesia sponsors our Daily Record because
So-
they don't have a paper, huh?
They do, but it's just
By investors.
okay. So the thing, yeah, it's advertisers. It's like stuff like that, and the owners, I guess, have some sort of like
Agreement.
something. I don't know what it is really. So
Okay.
it was shady, and I was just like, that's not what I want my news to be. If it's my name going out there and represent, I want my news just to be unbiased, which that was extremely biased, unreligious, and unpolitical. Period.
Okay.
So when I started Chaves County, I said, I'm not going to go on camera. I'm not going to put my face in there. You're not going to know what I think about it or what I have to say about it. All you're going to get is the facts, and all you're going to get is the video of the scene.
Okay.
Period. I'm not going to bug people for interviews. I'm not going to shoot people's faces. I'll just give you the news of what's popping in town. And through the couple years or whatever, I increased it. I got 23,000 followers on that page. I now respond within 30 seconds of a breaking call, where when I'm on scene, it's still going on what's going on. So any news that you hear from the page is still iffy, but I have connections now that it's like what you hear on that page is what the hell's going
What's
on.
legit.
Mhm.
And so you started just storm chasing, basically?
Yeah, so I still do that to this day.
So let me ask, what encouraged that right then and there? Just random?
Yeah, it was just that one time going out and seeing it. I was just like, yeah, it was an amazing sight seeing that big old storm. It was just weird. And so when I got back here, it was actually, it was popping around here. So I seen a tornado warning just north of town, went and chased that by myself, saw another one, and stuck since. Last summer, I went to Nebraska and caught 7 in one day.
What the heck?
Yeah.
I ain't moving to Nebraska.
So, okay, so how do you, I want you to give me more when it comes to, like, for instance, tornado chasing or whatever. What does that consist of? Like, are you, like, within a mile,
Less.
half a mile,
Less.
a quarter of a mile?
Around a quarter. Okay, so
Isn't that pretty damn close? That's like what?
it's as stupid as close you could probably get. So
That's like within like 1,000 feet or so, or just about 1,200 feet.
So half a mile is you're about 1,500 feet.
No,
Is
a mile
about
is
3,000 feet.
52,000,
I don't know, man. I
52,
failed math.
5260, I think
Okay,
is
so
the actual.
still 2,500 feet's a lot, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's
So
close
you're
to
still
that.
closer than that, though, right?
I'm right around there. Okay,
Oh,
so
so you're half a
so
mile.
my goal is to film from inside a tornado.
Whoa, how do you do that?
You drive into the damn.
What do you mean drive in without dodge?
Okay, so
That sounds badass. I don't care how you're gonna do it.
Yeah, no,
Let me do it. I want to join.
Hey,
the
Okay,
Come on.
first of all,
I only got
hold
one
on,
person
hold
that'll
on.
ride on me.
Hold on. First thing. Has anyone else done this?
Film from inside,
Yeah.
almost once, but not.
Almost once.
Okay,
You-
well, no,
like-
okay, I think he did. Okay, so
Wait,
people-
is he
No,
alive?
okay, I take that back. I just completely lied to you. There
This is on
has,
camera.
there has, but like, it's never full enough quality. It's always by accident because
Okay.
they're just driving and get hit.
Oh, okay.
So I never went to school for none of this, but over the past like 6 years, I've kind of taught myself and stuff. I have top weather. I've done classes and stuff now. I'm weather certified, but so I'll see days in advance if we have storms. Like the Dexter tornado, I was the only storm chaser. We had 65 storm chasers here in southeast New Mexico. There was a tornado south of Malaga, which is down by Carlsbad.
Right.
All of them were down there, and I almost bit. I was in Artesia and was about to go south, but I was over in Hope and I watched the storms, and I know the area. Like I've learned it. If you know Roswell, if we have a popping storm, it comes from the southeast, you know.
Yeah.
And if it's tornadic, it'll spin off the south end of it. So I was down there, and I've learned all this over time. So I just seen it, and I was like, you know what, I'm bailing, I'm going home. And I was going through Artesia, and I was coming up. I was like, I'm gonna go the back way. So I went to Hagerman. I was in Hagerman, and over the scanner they say there's a funnel cloud north of Hagerman. I'm like, I'm in Hagerman, what are you talking about? And it was all rain. I popped right out the rain cloud, and it was a monster. Right to Dexter. I got on phone with 911. I was like, it's. And I'm recording it. I have all the footage. And I'm going north on Old Dexter, and I get to, what is the road? Felix River Ranch Road, or Felix Road, or something like that, between Hagerman and Dexter. And there was metal sheets, full-size 12-foot sheets, all across this field. And there's not a barn nowhere near there. And there never was. So I don't know where it came from. But as soon as I seen that, I was like, oh shit, it's on the ground. Like at first I couldn't fully tell. It was far ahead. And as soon as I seen that it was on the ground, then when I got into Dexter, it just lifted up and went past the high school. And I rolled up on a house that a whole trailer destroyed.
Do y'all beef? You and the other fucking like.
Dude, they're horrible. I'm not
They're
that
toxic,
way. Bro, dude, you'll pull up and like, if we're talking about what we're gonna do, say we're them, they'll be all quiet and like, cause they don't want you over here to hear and follow us, cause we may have some information that you don't have. It's stupid, honestly.
Okay, so hold on. We went too far fucking ahead. You didn't tell me how the fuck you're gonna film inside of a fucking tornado.
Oh well, I had to let you know. I had to let you know the background.
Okay,
of the storm
okay,
chasing.
okay. So let's get back to that part.
Okay, so now that I know what I'm doing, I'm
Okay.
not planning to drive into an F5. Okay.
Is that as big as they get?
F5 is 200 plus miles an hour and can go up higher. The
And how
strongest
wide is
300.
that? Isn't that like a quarter mile wide?
The rating of a tornado is on the damage caused. So you can never pre-rate a tornado. So it doesn't matter the size. All it is
It's
on
about
the
what
wind
it
strength
does.
and the damage it causes.
Ah, see, I would have never known
this
that.
this is how it's fucked up. The strongest tornado was over 350 miles an hour and 2.5 miles wide. Didn't hit a building, so it was in the field. It was ranked an F3. Bro, the F3 rating I think is near 200 miles an hour.
So
That's crazy.
when it comes to so you know weather, and I don't know weather very well, but what causes the tornado? Do you know that much?
Okay, so it's not fully known, and that's part of the reason that I want to film from inside of it. Now, planning to drive inside of it, I have to get in the right location. The way the storms are, basically the way I can do it is they look like this, right? All the hail and all the bad stuff is up here. Around the south end, it just spins, and the most rotation, like a top, is right there at that little thumb point. So you can stay on the south end of the storm and never get wet. Lightning, because it's all crazy, but you won't get hail, nothing. So you can watch the entire tornado
From the south end of the storm.
from the south end, and the storms will move in a northeasterly path. So
Why
if there's-
is that?
It's the jet stream that causes it,
Okay.
and it's just the way the jet stream goes, and it pulls the moisture up from Mexico, the Gulf, and then so here in New Mexico, or at least in Roswell, in the summer, do you ever see clouds like popping up over the Capitans and stuff out there?
Sometimes.
So it's called World Geographical Lift, and it's literally wind going up at a certain height will start to condense. At that height, it condenses. So on that side of the mountain, it pushes the air up. The way to look at it is, on that side of the mountain, it's a desert in tularosa and stuff, right?
Right.
On this side, you have Ruidoso and all the trees. So you have air come up, create clouds, rain on this side of the mountain.
Huh.
So a lot of times we
That's
get
crazy. Huh?
Never
We'll-
fucking knew
we'll
that.
get random storms off the mountain, and it's not even supposed to really rain here. It's just because that lift caused a storm.
What the fuck? But Roswell's in a valley, right?
We're in the Pecos Valley, but that's not gonna. Doesn't matter. Do you have tornadoes at the top of the peaks? You have tornadoes.
So a tornado could hit Roswell, but are we talking
I
like?
plan it to. I really. It's going to.
Why do you say that?
Because the way they come, the storm always splits, and if it does hit, it'll be devastating because nobody ever heeds the warnings. So that's the reason I started actually reporting.
So I want to. Okay, I know you haven't told us about the tornado, but what is your?
Well, you asked a couple questions.
I know. Hold on.
He diverted his ideas.
I know. Hold on,
keep
but
going.
it's because I'm following what you're answering.
No,
and
I
it's
get
like,
It's interesting.
What is-
Yeah,
What
it's
is-
something different.
what's your reasoning behind your belief, like of a tornado to hit Roswell?
So
I heard you say the split. The storm
So
split.
that's what I feel would make it so bad if it did, because nobody believes the warning, because everybody says the storm never hits us. It always goes around.
Well, that's true.
Most of the time, a year or two ago, we got a monster hailstorm.
Yeah.
Right? It was just after night. None of y'all knew about this, but there was a potential spin up just southeast of town that I'm watching on radar. But because it's at night and in rain, you almost can't see it.
Yeah, and it's weird how tornadoes seem to always come
Okay,
at
so-
nighttime.
At the next one.
So when you get into asking how tornadoes form, right? I'll give you the most basic shit I can, but it's still somewhat unknown. So you know hot air balloon, right?
Right.
Oh fuck that. Let's start. I teach my mom's 5th grade class this weather, so we'll start with it, right?
Okay.
So I usually get a balloon, have them blow it up, and I say that's a piece of hell, and your head's a piece of hell. Rub it together, right? And then pull it away. You know, you get the static. So that is mimicking lightning. Okay. So lightning in a storm is caused by hail bouncing around, creating friction.
Okay.
Pop that balloon. That's your thunder, because of compression of sound waves. So I just created all that. You can basically not have a tornado unless you have that, because what's creating the hail is lift. Okay. In a certain level in the atmosphere, depending on the day, there's a certain height. No matter how hot it is, it'll freeze.
Okay.
Hot air balloons rise, right?
Right.
Hot air rises. So on a super hot day, everything's boiling down here.
Boom. Heat.
Just like I said on the mountain, air rising, when it reaches that condense level, it'll condense and create like fog or cloud or whatever you want to call it. That's what happens, right? If you have such a strong updraft because of your jet streams and your winds and your heat, which is, they call that instability, which is like they call it a cap, but I call it a cape. Because it's, or cap, whatever, but it's basically, well, it's called cape, but I call it cap. And it's like,
That's how to explain
it's
yourself.
stupid,
I
but
think
like,
it's the same shit.
but so it's basically like having a pot with a lid on it, right?
Okay.
And everything inside's boiling, and it's never going nowhere until it breaks. But as soon as it does, everything's gonna go, right?
Right.
So you could have a day that everything's in place for a storm, and nothing ever broke that, and nothing will happen. But everything was perfect for a tornado, but you didn't get one because that didn't happen, right?
Okay.
You could have the same thing happen the next day, and a tornado happens. So
Huh.
that's where it comes, where it's like you don't really know what causes it, but by having that increased heat, you start creating all this moisture, right? So then you have wind start picking up and sucking up in the storm in that updraft. When you have an updraft, you have to have a downdraft. Gravity works its way every time. So if you see a storm, you ever look at it, one side will be clear where you can see through it, one will be all dark and rainy. That's why you're on that south side, so you can stay out of the rain. But that downdraft is cold and the updraft is warm. So everybody, it feels warm and cold. What it is just the toilet, you flush the water, it always spins, even down a drain on this side of the equator. You go to the other side, it does the other way.
That's what I've heard.
It's apparently that's what it is. I've never been to that side.
I was gonna say I've heard this rumor.
But so
So if anybody from like South America is watching
Ecuador and
this,
stuff, yeah.
let
tell
us
me.
know what way your
Which way
toilet
does ours go?
flushes.
And then-
Ours
Ours
goes
goes
counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise, so they would have to go
Tornadoes
clockwise.
here go counterclockwise, and it's
Okay.
because of anytime anytime air rises or sinks, it spins. It never just goes straight because of gravity. I guess it is.
Okay.
We're not scientists.
He just had to throw that out there. He's not a scientist, so we can disregard everything he's
I said,
saying.
all the weather, it's all fake.
Okay, go.
So it spins or whatever. So that's what would cause the air to start spinning.
Okay.
Your hail's caused by the raindrops sucking up in that strong updraft.
Okay.
Going up, freezing, falling back down. So when you get these monster hail, have you ever the gobstopper look? Because it's like jawbreakers. It's layers and layers of rain when it cycles through the storm.
Oh shit.
And so a baseball size or a 3-inch size piece of hail comes out of the sky at 100 miles an hour, like a baseball pitch. So imagine the strength that the wind has to be to suck that up to make that.
Because it's holding it up there.
It pulls it from wherever in the air up to mile in the sky, and then it gets so heavy that it falls back down, and because it's going through layers of water freeze, it gets so big. That's your hail. So you have your hail, your lightning, and then all them winds and all the cold and warm mixing can make your base of your clouds, the freezing point, go lower than it's supposed to be. So you have a flat layer of clouds, and then you have an extension below. It's your wall cloud. That will be the most point of rotation. So
Right.
you ever watch Twister?
Yes, that's one of my
Bullshit.
favorite movies.
There's no wall cloud in none of those tornadoes, bro.
So
It comes from
fuck
flat.
that movie.
It made me kind of want to chase, but it literally comes from a flat. It comes from flat cloud and then goes straight down to a tornado. You're
Right.
supposed to have a monster wall cloud. So if you're ever out here watching and you see this big cloud and then like a big old lower hanging, watch that bad boy for rotation. At the closest point to rain and open sky, that's where it will happen. That's it. That's all I can tell you. Don't know how it does it. But so I just drive to that location under whatever I said instabilities and go to the best location, and it's
So it's basically like just the luck of the draw.
It's worse than poker.
I was gonna say you literally got to be lucky to be at the right spot at the right time, because it could drop at any moment or it could drop at all, not at
You
all.
can drop 10 miles from me, you're not gonna see it.
Yep.
But
So-
you were in the same place.
So I'm gonna revert back. So what makes you want to go into one, bro?
I'm stupid, I guess. No, okay, so
Sounds
like
crazy.
because nobody's ever got this type of footage, and I want to help people learn and know what the what can happen. Is you have to get. I hope it's nothing. Okay, we're still good. Nothing important.
You could answer. We've had
No,
that.
I'm just worried about breaking news. We're good.
Oh,
Nothing's
okay.
breaking.
Breaking news right now.
Motherfuckers better stop
Oh
acting
yeah,
crazy.
we'll give a breaking news update.
No, you don't have to say that.
No, I'm just kidding.
Don't risk your job.
And so no, well we can, but no, it's all good.
Save it for another podcast.
So to find out like really what's going on in these, you need video, because we don't know what the wind speed is until days later when they assess the damage. So how do you know what is actually? It could be a devil inside. You know I'm just bullshit.
No, you're bullshit, but you never know until
You never know until you're actually inside.
Like
and
it's like
actually
ghosts. You don't know there's ghosts. You don't have to believe in one, but when you see one, you'd be like,
oh, that door just
ghost.
opened. I don't know. But
Well, I
like,
get the sense of like, what is it, like curiosity?
That usually
But
kills
fuck,
me.
man,
Oh,
I feel like
Curiosity does kill the cat.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that shit.
Come.
It sounds extreme because you're telling me that it's moving at a rapid pace.
Okay, so
like it's fast.
what makes these worse than like a hurricane and stuff is they'll drop out of the sky and they're on the ground for 15-20 seconds, and they'll move through a whole city block in 5 minutes, and it's gone. You had no warning before and you have no warning after. You're done. Like you're
There's
we're
no
still in this-
preparation for it.
None. And when these
Like a
people-
hurricane, you got like a week in advance, maybe
you can
2
drive
weeks.
up inland.
Yeah, like you got time. A tornado is spontaneous.
And people like most people in Roswell, like it always goes around us. Like that one in Dallas that hit.
Oh yeah, not
That
that
was
long
at night,
ago.
bro. My buddy was at the Dallas Cowboys game.
No,
The Dallas and Eagles, they were playing because he's an Eagle fan.
Yeah.
So they were playing in
That
Arlington.
sucks.
I hit him up and said, "Yo, there's a couple storms in the area," and the storm that hit Dallas was just north of him. And a couple minutes later, touchdown, destroyed
whatever.
30+ blocks and
Yeah.
stuff. And just
Yeah,
like,
it was a bad fucking tornado.
and so like Dexter, the reason why all them storm chasers was here was because the day was like a pop-in day, and this area was the prime location. So I've gone to Oklahoma, Nebraska, like I said. First time I went, do you know Rico? You know Rico.
Yeah, I know.
Bro, that's the only person that'll chase with me, dog. He also films and stuff too, so he lives in the mountain. Y'all need to have Rico on here.
Okay, Rico, you're coming on here.
What's the last name? Roscoe?
Roscoe, yeah.
Oh yeah, I know his sister. Desiree, she's married to Lynn. Leo, my
That's
barber.
my barber too.
For real?
Yeah,
Dang,
that's
you
been my
work
barber
on your
since high
head.
school, bro. It's been like 3 weeks, dog. Leave me alone. Hey, they pay me with the news to do it. Yeah, they give me a fund to get haircuts.
Yeah, I didn't get on the news. Get some free fades.
Shit.
And,
I already do.
But hey, he's the only one that'll go with me, right? So it was like midnight, and I was like, this is like a couple weeks into chasing. I was like, hey, Oklahoma's popping, let's go. He's like, let's go. I was like, you're lying. It was midnight. We left at midnight. We drove all the way all night. We got there at 7 a.m. We chased that day, and we missed like 2 day tornadoes because we're rookies, bro. We've never been to Oklahoma ever. We caught a night tornado, okay? Stupidest and closest ever encountered. I plan to drive into a tornado, but be prepared for it, not be hit by one, just blindsided, right?
It's like how you said no one ever really gets to record unless they get fucked up by it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I plan to record driving into it and prepared not get hit. So we're watching it through night vision, and it's in the field. I'm seeing it on radar. Radar has a delay apparently. In night vision, you can't tell distance. And hey, so I'm sitting there yelling at him like, we need to go. I think it's way closer than it. Nah, it's right there in the field. I can see it. And I was like, bro, I argued with them for about 5 minutes, bro. I'm not even kidding. Okay, it was probably less than that.
I was gonna say, you said 20 seconds, and this motherfucker's been down for 5 minutes.
Dude, it felt forever, dog.
Well, I can imagine when you see something like that.
So we got in the car, we hit the high, and we're on a dirt road, and there's power poles right here. We hit the dirt road, and we probably got a half mile south, and we saw power flashes, and we went back. That exact spot got hit by the tornado like 30 seconds to a minute after we left. It was right there, bro, in the field.
So you could have been inside of it, but you got scared.
No. Hey, this was before I decided. This was before I decided I wanted to do it.
I don't know. I would be down. I would be like, I would love to see one like pretty close, but cool. I don't know if I'd want to be like that close.
Okay, so
like 30 seconds close is too
I'm planning
close.
to even do a tour or two on the summer for people like that, but I have to do it 2 different ways because I sell my news and stuff through a guy out of Alabama, sells it to the Weather Channel and stuff like that. So I do it. It's called Daredevil Chasers. It's because I'm a little stupid, and I like drive through the storm and go as close as possible. But if I'm bringing people, I have to for insurance. I'm gonna plan to be away from it, but I can take you to the dopest, coolest stuff you've ever seen.
No, I don't want to do the tour. I want to do like a personal tour.
That's what I'm saying.
Like the more in.
I'm not taking 30 people.
Like I'm not. No.
It's like on a safari.
Hey, live podcast.
Fuck it. I would do it. Imagine
that'd be sick.
My nuts are already in my stomach thinking about it. Good.
That would be crazy.
The holy shit bar.
I would definitely be down to do like I said. I would like to
this fucker
experience.
always puts me in weird situations. Like he's like, "Hey, we're gonna go see ghosts."
Hey, that's
appreciate it.
I mean,
like.
It's like what I do.
It depends on how you go at it. Like you can go in there and you can, like I said, not get no rain or nothing. See everything you wanted to see and never experience the bad. Or
I mean, if I'm gonna do it, I want to experience some bad.
Alright, so this is what I tell people sometimes.
See, that guy is gonna become this fucker.
I tell people sometimes, I'm like, alright, we didn't get rain. Do you want this chase? We're here in Oklahoma. We saw what we saw.
We just drove 8 hours.
Do you want to go experience the storm and just watch it?
Well, yeah, I didn't come to Oklahoma for
That's
their
a bad
burgers.
mistake to say to me, though.
Why?
Because I'm gonna take you in it.
Well, and last I heard, you took us out of it.
If I'm going to Oklahoma, I'm taking the full thunder, everything.
In the middle of a storm.
It sounds intense as fuck, but I think it's just like skydiving. I want to do it at least once.
It's like adrenaline, bro.
Yeah, it's all adrenaline rush.
I'm gonna pee myself. I don't know.
It's cool. It's whatever.
No, that's what everybody. Yeah,
good content.
Yeah, hell yeah.
No, that's man. Did you ever envision yourself doing this kind of shit?
None of it.
Because you were in the oil fields, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. So when I graduated high school, and I barely did because the gifted they saved my ass, bro. I skipped too much. I fucked off in high school.
1.8 GPA.
I don't even know what I had. I graduated early,
that's
My first semester, December, I had to take some testing, not GED, but through high school, and then started my second semester of my senior year at college. And I started taking my EMT. So I got my EMT. I was going on with the fire department and stuff like that, and then I applied at the jail. I was trying to be the medic there. Wrong place I applied, apparently. I became a guard. Bro, it's just the way my life's been. So I was a guard for a while. I was on the SWAT team and everything for him. I was the medic for him. That's when, yeah, I've done it all, bro. And then,
next time.
dude, for real. And so then that opportunity in Houston, and it was like 30 minutes south of Houston, on the beach, $28 an hour, and I've lived in Roswell my entire life.
So you're like, fuck it.
Let's go. I
Yeah.
was 20,
Damn.
I think, 19, 20, something like that. I was like, let's go. $1,400 a week rent. From me. Me and my bro Juan split $2,800 a week.
Fuck.
What it was a vacation home on the beach, on stilts. Vacation home.
I mean, it sounds.
I was young and
dope,
dumb, bro. I was young, but it was dumb and it was worth it, and I'll do it again. Not now,
but then
at that same time, I'd do it exactly how I did.
sounds like
was
a good
worth
time.
it. And then that's when I found the storm and just came back. And then
So when you chased that storm, then what did you do?
nothing, and nothing actually made me like want to chase storms even when I came back.
So like you just like filmed it and
No, I didn't even film. I wasn't even filming, dude. Like the
You
dude
just
was
took
from
off?
Houston. Yeah, like I was smoking bud, but me and the buddy was just smoking. He was like, "Yo, there's a storm over here." I was, the fuck you know about the storm? Like, what is this? You know, for real? You know what I mean?
You meteorologist on the side.
Yeah, you know what? The same way somebody would treat me. You know, like what the fuck do you know about? So he just took me to this like wooded area, whatever, and we popped in this opening, and it was this dope ass storm, and it, like. I don't think it touched down, but it pretty close. It looked pretty popping, and I was just like, "That's dope. This is cool." And I didn't ever think I would ever kind of experience that again.
Right.
And I moved back here, and apparently we have a lot more here than
Oh.
I would have. No, Houston, they get it all.
I was gonna say.
Well,
they're
you-
right there at the
okay,
goal.
so this is why I don't chase like in Arkansas and right there. I call it the jungle because it's all swampy trees.
Yeah, it's
And if you want to see something on the ground, looking through trees is not gonna help you.
right.
So, and if you don't want to die.
By an alligator.
Fucking alligator tornado. That's what you're
Oh.
chasing. No,
I'm
because you
more
need
scared
it.
of what's by my feet than what's in the sky.
In the oil refinery that I worked, we had 4 different alligators in the waiting ponds, and they had them named. Or
They're
the
just
alligators-
chilling?
Chilling, bro. The bayou, bro. It was weird.
That's dope.
It was weird over there, dog. It was cool though. Like
Yeah,
I said,
I
that
was
was
gonna say, that
that was a
sounds-
great experience. And then so I came back here, and I still did odd and end jobs like while doing the news because I made money, but every money I've invested right back to the news. So for the past 4 years at Chaves County News, I had been working 2 jobs every day. I was down in Carlsbad working oil field as a machine operator. Because of the EMT, I built dirt bike tracks for the Kick Arena Cross tour.
Oh yeah.
Me and my buddy Rico does that. Traveled to Chicago, Salt Lake City, all that at the beginning of this year. Building the tracks on the medic. I broke my fucking toe in Chicago.
Damn.
Broke my toe.
How?
Dirt bike ran over my toe because he was mad at some other dude and he gunned it and my foot went like that. It broke my big toe.
Did it hurt?
Bro, it felt like my toenail got ripped off. Through your shoe, right? And we're on a track running a thing, and so like I hopped off. And I got down like this and I popped my shoe off, but it hurt so bad. And then my EMT is like kicking in, like whatever, if it's broke, fuck it. And I felt, just to make sure I wasn't bleeding to death, my toe was dry. Well, sweaty, but dry. I wasn't bleeding. So I just put the shoe right back on and went right back to work. Because if it's broke, for one, the hospital's not going to do nothing for you. They're just going to put a splint on it and maybe give you some pain med. So I was like, if it's not bleeding, it's not emergent, let's finish this out. And then I looked at it later. I had bruising across the top of my toes. You know, like where your joint is for your toes? All the way across, fat old bruise, and then the entire toe was like bruised so bad it was like literally red and like red. Like not like my skin pink or nothing like that. Like literally like I almost went to the hospital because of color. It just didn't look good. But I knew it was broke. I was just like, fuck it. So the next day I couldn't even be the medic. I had to stand on in flag. I'm in Chicago. I ain't coming home. I didn't go in my own car. We were in the work truck. So
Fuck.
guided it out. And then I got back here and I told him I'm not gonna do it no more. I was the boss and stuff for him, and I was like, no, I'm just traveling country was cool, but I'm gonna try to do something new in town. And that's why I don't like these chairs, man. It's scary.
They're for the feng shui. They're not for.
They're not for big boys like us,
They're
right?
not comfortability.
Hey, they're comfortable. Not really.
No.
I ain't gonna lie.
They're all right. They're
They're
cool
cool.
looking, but don't get sidetracked.
That's this guy.
I was fucking like,
Hey, I thought I was having corner of my eye. I thought he was done.
yeah, I had my arm like this, and I fucking almost, boop, I would have been straight back, boy.
That would have been hilarious.
That would not have been hilarious.
But so then I came back and was like, I was just trying to find something here. Worked a little more oil filled, and I was like, I'm better than this, you know. There's nothing all day grinding out oil filled. That was me. No disrespect to making that money, but I was like, I should be doing something else. I have some skills or something. Let's help somebody to do something. So I grinded real hard with Chaves County, and then I don't know, just I saw an opening at KRQE and applied. I thought it was for just a filming position. Turns out it was the Russell reporter position. And turns out they knew exactly who I was from my page. And I didn't even need to give them a resume or nothing.
Damn,
I got hired on
boy.
the spot.
That's what's up.
It's still weird.
It's still dope.
It was cool, but I didn't think that would happen, you know? Especially like you asked, like, did I ever plan? Fuck no, bro.
You tell the bitches you work for the news.
Hey.
Hey,
What ones?
all the ones.
Oh, no.
Bro,
No, hold on. Don't get sidetracked on that
but
shit.
they want to be on camera, bro. They don't gotta be. It
What do
doesn't
you
matter
mean?
who
Like
does
they
it.
don't tell us.
Everybody wants to be on camera,
Not true.
That's
bro.
That's not fucking
Okay.
true.
That's a fact. Cause my day is. I didn't get no interview today. I didn't do a story today because I couldn't get an interview. I got one in the morning, but that's my day to day. I gotta try to get an interview, but. There are them other ones that they'll do anything to get on your camera, and they'll be there all day, and they'll talk to you all day, and they'll waste your entire day.
Well, you can throw them our way.
No, you don't want to talk to these.
We like to talk.
Why not?
I don't care if they're
They're
crackheads.
randoms. You don't.
And that's
I
even
don't
better.
know.
That's
Bro, I'm like
better.
randomly in Carlsbad.
Because then I can randomly ask them whatever, and they can't get offended, and I won't feel bad because I don't know them.
Yeah, that's
Honestly,
true.
bro,
That's the best content. I know.
y'all do not want to talk to them people for that long.
Well, we only give them an hour plus.
Bro, you would say a couple words. I ain't even lying. Dog.
Bring them on. I want to test
I was like, I'm gonna talk my head off with these motherfuckers.
This is gonna be your first 3-hour episode right here.
No, we're saving that one.
No, for myself.
Yeah.
Well, don't bring these weirdos on. I'll tell you
No,
that.
man. So okay, so explain your like what do you call it? The Chaves County Network.
Chaves County News Network.
That was what you were doing prior to getting this job.
Yeah, and I still do it now too.
Okay, so how did that come about? Because you just did that all on your own, right?
The fallout with the Ralph Daily Record when they told me
When they told you about the whole like you need to do this
And-
sports shit with Artesia,
because I already
blah-
started with weather. I already
right?
had some little following on my personal page, so when
Uh-huh.
I would do a Daily Record story, it
Right.
would get shared on my personal page. So they would still follow the news.
And
from
so
my
you
page.
already had that thing established before you even left the.
They're the
deal.
ones that told me they wanted me to keep doing news and I should do my own. The viewers.
And then that just grew on its own. See, that's super
All
cool
on
to
its own.
see. Like, you didn't really need anybody. Like, they helped you, but you continued that lead that you already had.
I didn't change nothing.
And
from
now
day one
you're
to
just
now.
doing it all.
Do you still fuck with them?
What? The Daily Record? They're all right. They're cool.
No, no, you know, like work for them, like do things.
No,
You
no.
Any kind of work with them?
None. I don't associate with them at all.
And what were you just strictly weather during your time there?
No.
So
I
you
was-
were
I was
still
the
doing
break-
like
I
the
was the. I literally
crime
I
scenes and
separated from weather.
emergencies
I
and
barely
shit?
did weather for them.
Oh,
I
really?
was just breaking news because they saw that I could do it, be there quick enough, and knock the stories out. So I was. They considered me the. I think I was the multimedia journalist for the Raleigh Record for like about a year.
Damn.
That's what's up.
And it was right around that time that the guy Jared Tucker, he had that other news page or whatever, and he killed himself, hung himself off
Yeah,
that
I
bridge.
see that.
Oh.
And so that's why I took over for the Daily Record because he left, and it just all fell in line like that.
That's crazy, man. And then to continue on with your other part, like, because they're not together, right? The Roswell, like, news reporting thing that you got the job for?
Okay, so KRQE News is out of Albuquerque.
Right.
I'm the Southeast New Mexico reporter. So I'm out of the KBIM office here, which they are, like, they got bought by KRQE.
Okay.
So I cover all Lincoln County, Otero County, Chavez County, Eddy County, and Lee County.
Okay.
So all of the entire Southeast New Mexico. I cover all news. Not breaking news, just no more like Chavez County News Network. So Chavez County News Network, I covered as far as I could because it's all out of my pocket. So I covered Artesia as much as I could, like those prisoners that broke out. I
Yeah.
was down there live. Like I do as much as I can around the area. When that homicide happened about a month or two ago out of Hobbs, I reported on that first. Like I do as much as I can out of the state. But now that I'm with KRQE, I cover like family stories and breaking and murders and everything now.
And you had not had any experience like this prior, right?
No schooling whatsoever, and everybody.
Is there schooling for stuff
there's
like
a
that?
journalism degree, which is 4 years.
This fool just turned it around in 5
hey,
and did it by itself.
I'll give this to the little kids. You don't always have to go to school.
Hold on, that contradicts our last video.
I know, I figured that. That's why I said that.
Hold on, kids. Stay in school.
Okay, but
It's cool.
in the rare case that my case is like everybody up there that are reporters for KRQE, they're from University of Texas, LSU. They went to school for journalism, and now they're looking for a job, and they apply at these top market jobs, and they get them. I have none of that, bro.
And he's shitting on him, bro.
Hey,
Flex on him, bro.
hey, I ain't gonna go there because I got a lot of work to do to where I need to be for this position. Just voicing over and being on camera because, like I said, I was never on it before and I never wanted to be, so I didn't practice. I didn't do nothing like that. I have a list, so I'm a little self-confident on myself too. So it's just got to get over all that. And now that you're on legit TV too, that adds to it. Like the pressure of a podcast ain't the pressure of live TV.
No, I could
Fuck
only
that.
imagine being on
Bro.
TV.
I cussed him when I couldn't do it.
Me too.
I
You don't
can-
understand.
I can hold back on that part. If it's
hard, but
professional,
no, that's how I have to do
yeah,
it.
like when it
You'll
comes
see a
down to
different side
boiling
of
it
me.
down, like it's like football. I could fuck off and practice, but
Mm-hmm.
once it comes down to the games, it's like I'm fucking balls to the wall. I ain't even fucking up no more.
And that's just how it was. Like I just had to.
I just not working. Fuck it.
But see, the work environments are different environments. Like when I'm at work with all the other people, like in Albuquerque, like I was there for Black Friday. I was a reporter up there on Friday
Okay,
because they were short because people need to go home to see their families and they're not from New Mexico like me.
right.
So I was up there being a reporter, and fuck, the cuss words come out of every person's mouth in there, but not on camera. And
So how do you distinguish between who you're interviewing or not, or do you have to
Bro,
edit your shit, or what the fuck happens there?
So this is what's different between me and them up there. Up there, they have an editing bay, so they have like editors that just sit there and that's all they do is edit video.
Damn, we need some of those.
I need one of them for my job, and they're through my company. I don't have one down here. I do
Okay.
my own editing. So if I do a story and you see a story from me out of KRQE, I did the entire thing. I drove there, I did the research, I did the interviews, I went back, I edited, I typed my entire story, I voiced it. Anything that the anchor says, I type. I do the entire thing.
Damn.
If I was up there, I would still type it and sometimes film. So they have photogs. That's what I thought I applied for. Was a photog. So I have somebody you'll go film, you'll type the story, and or you'll edit, and I'll just type it. And you'll edit off of my script.
Okay.
And he'll give you the video to edit. And all I will do is go in
So
the
it's
booth.
just a chain of.
Bro, they all have somebody does something and something and something. So the reporter only has to go out and get the interview or just get the information and voice it over. Me, I do all of it down here.
Fuck, that's.
But I get paid the same. And the thing that's not an issue is that was me before. With Chavez County, I did everything. And then nobody really knew that or nothing because I kept it out of it. But I did everything from selling advertisement to being on scene reporting to getting the information to editing every single video. The only time I got help was this year. My buddy Emilio, shout out to you, bro, helping with the Roswell High clips because I got KRQE. We got another camera, so we ran 2 cameras the entire game. So I had him on one side and me on the other side. Other than that, though, I've never had no help with Chaves County.
That's crazy, man. Because you do cover a lot of area, and you've been doing it. That's what I gotta respect is you did it without like you didn't know you were gonna be here. Like you had no idea. Like you said, it fell in your lap.
And it's still falling. There's
Yeah,
still
like-
more people joining, and it still amazes me to this day how it got there, and how it's the followers, everything. You know, like it's just weird. But it's like, and that's what when I went to KRQE, I told him, I'm not leaving that behind. I'm not signing with you unless I can keep that going. The following there is a following. So the deal I have with KRQE is if I report a murder on Chaves County News, they can pick up any of that footage as if it's theirs. Because it is. It's me
Okay.
recording it. But they don't have to.
Huh.
So I can go report, like earlier, there was a female hit by a car in a serious condition. I didn't because I was coming here, but she was taken to the hospital. That report would have been on Chaves County News if it was serious or whatever enough. KRQE would have picked it up.
Right.
But still, I wanted to make sure that the locals got their news, no matter what KRQE wanted, because they're ran by producers and stuff. It's the way it works.
Because they gotta pick and choose what the stories that they want too.
Like
It's not
folks-
like they could do every single fucking county in New Mexico.
And so, like the process in the morning, I go in at 8, and between 8 and 9, I find stories, right? Search. Facebook is my fucking friend. Any of y'all send me stories, it helps me out. But I find stories, and by 9 o'clock, if I wasn't out, we'd have a conference meeting, and you tell your stories, and they just set on the stories for the day. And so if we're the reporters, you go cover this one, and you do this one, and you do this one, and you do that one. Well, I pitch my own, well, we all pitch stories, but I pitch mine from here. They'll tell me which ones to go do, and I go do them. I only talk to these people by email, or throughout the day, sometimes call. That's all. But so like the stories will come and you just present it to them. Sometimes they'll turn them all down, or sometimes they'll want you to do all 3.
Damn.
This is how it is, you know. But with Chaves County, because I'm the sole, I do what I want. So I got clapped back for the music on those.
Oh, on the videos.
Yeah, but what it was and what I told him was like, I'm sorry. I apologized to him too. I don't have to apologize to nobody, but I apologize to sorry. It's still a great video on mute. Like it's still a perfect, awesome video to listen. But I made it for those boys out there playing, and they want music that's relevant. Any highlight video that we had from were stupid rock from 20 years before our age, right?
Yeah, like
Like,
we
what-
always
what-
had
when did
some
you
dumb
graduate?
playlists. Like when we play basketball, it'd be like the same bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to hear like We Will Rock You.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to hear that shit.
Like-
I want to hear like fucking Chameleon Air.
So when did you graduate? What year?
09.
So what was relevant?
Like
about
Lil
09?
Wayne, Drake
There
was
you go.
kind of popping at the time.
Mine's
T.I. was
I was
kind of going.
2012. You were
14.
so see we all had different music
Times.
and different styles between.
And I think nowadays it's more acceptable when it comes to like
And-
being yourself more than just not even just the music. Like even like I noticed the team can actually be solitary to their like exterior. What am I looking for? Like their jerseys and stuff. Like Rosa Hyde decided to go white out.
Yep.
Like-
for the final game. They were all
Yeah,
white.
yeah, and then like for the Goddard game, they got their helmets painted.
They were wrapped, and they did it. That's what they did last year when they showed up in all black.
Yeah, and that's
This
what I
year?
mean. Like now, like before, it
It's
was
always lame, bro.
it was like we're red or we're white, and you're not getting shit, and it's
Yeah.
just what it is. Like basketball, we used to, I don't know if they still do it, but I
Okay,
know we
what
used
you
to do
mean.
the
They're more
shoes.
lenient with us as teams.
Yes, like
yeah, and then part of it too is just like they're doing better, so they give them more leniency. But then there's people like me. We have more technology too. But then somebody like me, there are people out there that are making videos that are not going to be the music that the boys want.
right.
It's what it is. I understand it. People ask me on my page to do music their kids can listen to, and what I told them was like, I apologize if the music's cussed, but I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all kids did that mannequin challenge with the Black Beatles.
Yeah,
You know the Nene. I know you're not listening to the clean versions because most of them don't have one. It's what it
exactly.
is. Like it's just the era that we're in. It's a lot more hip hoppy.
And you
for the little kids.
gotta build your like not I hate saying fan base because you're news, but that's what it is. Like in order to grasp everybody, you have to take a piece of
Like,
everything.
them boys ain't gonna follow that page.
Yeah,
unless something
unless you
happened
show
here.
them that video and it's got a hype song that
Well,
they're gonna
they've been
relate
all over
to.
that. They've been-
Exactly,
they've
they're
been
gonna
all
start
over that.
sharing it.
It's-
People start viewing it. They start liking your page.
And then
That's how it goes.
over the course of them seeing the cameras out there and seeing the videos come back that they like, they even show out more in front of the camera, so it makes my videos look better. Josiah and Dom and stuff. I don't remember what game it was, but because of KRQE, I had to cover other news, other teams. So I was in Dexter, but my other buddy was covered the entire game. So I missed the first half. When I got there for the second half, I met all the boys. It was like, I wasn't here the first half, so none of that's going on TV tonight for KRQE. So if you want on TV, I need to see some show out. Well, they all scored like 2 touchdowns each that second half. You know what I mean? So
No,
it's like,
I feel you. Like that's what it comes down to. Is it's just like content. The more content you have, the more relative it is too.
and I took a knock for it. Like, some people disliked and backed out of the page, stopped liking the page. It in overall numbers doesn't bother me. I'm not doing the news for the likes. If you view the news and you see the news, we're golden. We're doing what we're doing. You don't have to like it. You don't have to share it. Sharing it helps because it helps other people find it, but you don't have to do none of that.
Right.
The news is going to be there if you're there liking it or not. I could have 5 or
People.
25,000.
Right.
It's all good.
No, I feel you. Dang, that's good shit, man. It's like you were like an entrepreneur pretty much. Like you just took one small thing and you took advantage of the opportunity.
I just rode with it.
Yeah, man. You don't see that very much. That, like you said, you didn't. It was a rare occasion that he didn't go to school and stuff and still got presented with such a golden opportunity that not very many people can actually sit there and say that they've done, because it doesn't happen like that all the time. Like you said, there's people going to college, big ass universities, getting jobs like yours that busted their ass and are probably in whatever school debt to be doing what you're doing.
I have
And
none.
you're-
My experience is field experience. All 4 years of actually out here being a reporter, not learning to be a reporter.
Do you do the basketball too, or just the football? Or is it just hard to do basketball?
It's harder because they have more games and you got to be closer. And the reason I don't do basketball, I'd say you're closer to them already. Like that's why NFL players don't get as much shine as an NBA player. You're on the NBA court.
Yeah,
you
you're sitting there, you see their
but you see their
face.
face. The helmet immediately blocks half of what it is. You don't know who it is every time, so you got to rely off the numbers. The face. That's why you can recognize a NFL number over an NBA number. You can recognize an NBA face because there's only 5 on the court,
yeah, there's 5
and they're all bigger names.
And
usually.
even then, like the bench is sitting within arm's distance. Like
You're right there.
yeah, like
so,
they're literally right there.
So
and then,
same thing with like high school,
like volleyball.
same
Yeah,
things. I don't. Even baseball. I play baseball, bro. Baseball's boring to watch. I'm sorry. I'm not going to film baseball.
plus baseball, you're doing
long.
2-a-days, or you got your 3-game series and
9
shit.
innings
Like
of nothing. How am I gonna make a highlight clip of nothing?
nothing.
That's why.
I'm gonna start hitting some home runs, motherfuckers.
That's what made this year dope for the videos I made. They scored over 600 points this year.
Damn.
40 points a game plus. So I'm getting at least a touchdown per playmaker.
Yeah.
You're all getting highlight. It's like Oprah. You get a highlight. You get a highlight. Like everybody was on it. You know?
No, I agree.
real.
Which makes total sense. No, I mean, I'm just. That shit's fucking dope. Like, I can only imagine the shit you see. Outside of the football and sports, and outside of your even storm chasing, like, that's like, and then your crime investigations and shit, like, you see, and you know everything right away.
Bro, you know the craziest thing? I know you didn't ask it, but the craziest thing's ever happened to me with Chaves County News.
Are you allowed to speak of this?
Fuck yes.
It's
It's my
page.
news.
Fucking his page, dog.
I mean, I don't
Okay,
know.
so do you remember there was like a female found buried behind a house a couple years ago?
Oh yeah, wasn't it like
It's just right over here by
near
Monterey, bro.
You don't know where I fucking live, so don't come looking. But anyway,
Unless you go Billy's.
Hey, rewind that.
unless you
It
go
was over by Monterey somewhere. Right?
Okay, yeah, I do remember that.
So I was there filming and I did what I was supposed to, right? And the cops didn't know nothing about the lady, and they had a couple tattoos, and they just told us about tattoos. Put it out there. So I did. It was probably like a couple days later, I got the weirdest message and call ever. So the dude, I still don't know who he is. I told him I'd keep him anonymous, but I didn't even ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone just died right now.
Motherfucker.
Oh shit! There's the goes again. Yeah, no, damn! You
Yeah. You got a random ass call or text.
Okay, it started as a message, and the person, and it was probably a couple weeks after the cops are still looking, right? And the dude is like, I'm 100% sure I know who that chick is. Mind this, nobody is ever 100% sure ever on anything, right?
Yeah, that's weird that they would say that.
100% is what he told me in the message. What the fuck is this? You know, so I asked him, like, could I call him? Or I think he asked if he can call me. I talked to him on the phone, and he said his uncle had some chick over from Albuquerque. And see, I can't remember, the tattoo was distinct as hell, bro. And there was only like one letter that the cops told us, and he spelled it out. Like they only had like 2 letters, and he literally gave the name, and none of us, we were all trying to guess names and look on. He gave me the name. I immediately looked on Facebook, and she had a picture of that tat, and I was like, what? I immediately went to the police department and gave the information to the detective. Next day, it was her.
What the fuck?
Bro, he said, so the dude told me that, so she was missing from California.
Yeah, I think that's what I remember.
She's missing from California, but they last saw her in Albuquerque. And he said she was down here from Albuquerque. Like, everything he told me matched with whatever the cops relayed back through. And, like, it was just too weird. Don't know if he was the murderer or if it was his uncle that he said. I probably feel like I talked to the motherfucking murderer. It was that weird, bro.
So, okay, let me ask something. On something like that someone anonymously just hits you up, you don't pursue, like, investigation?
I don't have to. I could just...
So you don't have to? Like, you don't have to fork up his number?
I don't have to give nothing to the cops.
You don't even have to tell them how the fuck you came up with this story?
Nope.
Because they're not gonna think you fucking did it?
No, and I told him, I was like, the dude kind of wants to remain anonymous, but he said he'll talk to the cop. So he wants to, nobody know who he is, but he'll talk to y'all. Here's his number. I don't know what came up of it, but they found out who she was. But in my part, like, I'm gonna do the respect, as in, like, if you ask to remain anonymous,
To remain anonymous.
it's unless it's to an extent, like, don't tell me if you blatantly done something to, like, children or something like that. If you're out there heavy drinking and drive, I see you swerving, I'm gonna call you in.
Right.
You ain't hitting none of my family members driving around. I don't care. I'm not gonna let you hit none of my friends' family members either. So there's a couple things that I'll just, you do you, player. I won't say nothing about it. But then there's some other ones where it's like, in that case, it was like, that's somebody's family member. That's somebody's missing her. Even if she's not missing, like, nobody's actually missing her. They'll let somebody know who it was, you know. So
Right.
I went right there right away and I gave it to him. And yeah, it turned out to be them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
I usually get fans hitting me up, and that's always.
Answer them. You might find a murderer one day.
I answer them, dog. I always do.
Oh, you hit the groupies up?
I hit them up, bro. Fuck it.
Hey.
Fuck, that's
I'm actually getting
crazy.
messages right now as we speak about the podcast. I know, no cap.
Fuck, bro.
Yeah, it was wild, bro.
Well, I mean, damn, bro, that's fucking crazy. Like, that somebody randomly would hit you up, tell you this shit, and then it's like he, even, like, if he had done it, it's like he got away with it.
He did. But he also, like, and that's the thing with them murderers too, they like that
Well,
public
yeah, it's
eye.
like back in the day when they would have these.
The Strangler, or there's the
Ashley
Boston
Slasher?
Bomber. All of them, whatever one that would have, was it the bomber? I don't know, the one that would make the letter of all the different letters, you know, and send it to the cops to play with them. He was playing with them. He wanted the public eye.
That's what's crazy, but I feel like it's so hard to do that these days.
You're not going to get away with that right now.
Yeah, you're not gonna get very far. You might be able to do maybe one at the most,
Or you
But
gotta
even
like.
then, you're gonna get caught fast as
The
fuck.
only way I think you can get away with is if you did it a long time ago and now you're backtracking. So like the West Mesa dude or whatever. What if he purposely left the bone out, and then in another year or two we find one in a different place, even if it's not Albuquerque, but you find.
I
this
always
mass grave.
wondered how the fuck they find people like that.
So that one, a lady was walking her dog, and the dog found a bone, and she thought it looked like a human. Called the cops, and
It was fucking
13 bodies.
That's fucking crazy.
There might be more, bro, because it's a whole, like a housing district right there that most of it's already built over. So what if there's more? And they said that there's nothing we can do now. We can't dig underneath all these houses to see if there's more bodies.
Back in the day, it was crazy.
See, and that's what people try to tell me too. Like my Roswell's getting so bad. Y'all grew up. We went to school in Chisholm, bro.
Yeah,
The
like
Triangle was.
it was
popping
crazy
every day of the
already.
week.
Yeah,
Like-
like I feel like it's not that crazy anymore.
I ain't gonna say where I live, but I still live in the Triangle, you know, and
Right.
it's calmer.
Yeah, like it seems chill because I'm not up in there like I used to be, like
Yeah.
walking the blocks and shit. But I remember back in the day, we'd walk the blocks and shit would go off, and
Bro.
you're just like,
I was
oh,
never around.
like that's just some normal shit on Church Street or
Yeah,
whatever
like
the
that.
fuck.
I was never around crack, but as 8 years old, I know what crack cocaine smelled like because you would go by that house on the block, you would smell it. You know, oh, ew.
Yeah.
You know that musty, weird, nasty. I don't still to this day don't fully know what it smells like, but I know what them houses smell like. They're cooking it up in that mother.
Yeah.
It's all
Nah,
good.
it's crazy because I don't know. People like you said, it's getting like
I think
people.
my page, because I'm out there reporting it, and because social media, you're able to see the news more. We wouldn't hear about a murder until we were at school the next day.
Yeah, that's
You're getting
very
it,
true.
and because I'm on scene in 30 seconds and everybody's sharing it, it's blasted more, so people are seeing more.
I just think too many people are opinionated about what the fuck. It's like it's not that simple, and shit's gonna happen anyways. Like
nothing you
just
can do.
don't take it so personal.
There's
Like
no law
yeah,
you can do to stop. it.
yeah,
That's
you're not Superman. We're not Superman. You can't do anything. Really, the best thing you can do is be the best parents possible. And if you're not doing your job, then I don't know how you
That's-
expect your kids
that's
to
all
do
it
their
is.
job.
It's a parent.
So, yeah.
You got to be around more. Like, and man, I hate seeing it, but all these single moms out there just living their best life, and they got kids. Like,
Well, that's what makes them single moms.
no, but you know what I mean. Like,
They
nah,
they
you know
be
what I
single
mean.
moms without
Nah,
kids.
but you can live your best life with your kid.
Oh no, I get what you mean. Yeah, but on the flip side, I have to defend women too. And they always and it's half their
Well,
fault.
hey, to
Okay,
a part-
hold on. It's
alright,
half
I'll
their
put it-
fault that they picked a bum, but it's not also their fault that fool doesn't take pride in being
And,
a
and,
man.
and I get like it might have sucked the last couple years. You were stuck with that,
person.
and now that you're away, you want to experience something new. But so do your kids.
Yeah, I always feel like that's one thing you always got to remember, because whatever you are doing, you're teaching your kids to do. And would you be mad when they're your age, acting the way you're acting?
Yep.
Boy or girl, like if you're a mom and you're out fucking around and you have a daughter at home, would you be cool if she was acting like you were acting with this whole fucking
out with this boy,
attitude or
running away with this boy, not answering your calls, and it's your only daughter? Like,
yeah,
you're not gonna like that.
You're
either.
basically, and I don't mean this like rudely, but in a way, if you're doing those things, like if you're being a slut, you're probably teaching your kid,
You're
and
basically paving the way.
bro.
for her to be a slut.
to show
These
that
and
way.
these kids are learning more and more from their parents.
Well, yeah, they
super
watch
quick.
them.
So,
They watch
like
them.
just even habits, bro. Literally, okay. Let's just go with accents. Let's just talk the white hick accent, right?
Mhm.
How do them little boys have that white hick accent at 2 years old, 3 years old from their
From
dad?
their parents.
Just hearing, and it's just an adapted accent. It's not even literally what they're saying.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's just
I hate
parents could just do better at being parents. That's what it boils down to.
Bro, me and my boss talk about this shit all the time.
Like, and bro, my sister's single right now. And I was the same way. Like, I don't want to put it out there, but like, one time she went out of town, and I was like, "You got kids, like, you know." But I'm not a parent either, and I never had no horrible relationship where I know what it's like to be held down or fucking.
No, and I
run over.
understand people need their time away, and I get when like people are like, "Well, my kids are with so and so."
And see,
Well,
like
how
this-
often are they with so
And
and
see,
so?
okay, this wasn't like she like, and this happens all the time. It's not like these people schedule their kids to be away so they can get away. A lot of times it's just they're with like their other dad or whatever it is, so you're free this weekend, do something. But it's when I'm just seeing too much on social media. You can live your best life off of social media. That's what I'm kind of getting at.
That's true.
I feel bad for the kids, but still, it's
Because all these things, once it's on the internet, it's there forever.
I'm telling you, bro. If they're saying it, I'm saying it. Fuck them kids, bro. It's the
Oh my
it's
god,
the-
we're gonna end on that note. One last
I
question.
have kids, so you know their
Hey,
parents are saying that
On
shit.
this last note, Corey,
Yeah,
we
grab that one.
appreciate you, but it's gonna be 2020 in less than a month now. You got any big plans, any goals, anything you're gonna be working on? Anything in 2020? New decade?
like for next year. What I'm trying to finish this year.
Whatever, anything. Finish strong, start off fast. What is it, 2020? It don't even
Okay,
have to be your
well-
biggest. Whatever.
We'll come start on 2020. I want at least my news coverage to be full max as best I can get it,
Okay.
all around the board, Chaves County and KRQE. I'm planning to start a podcast with Chaves County News Network,
Dope.
just to like interview more people that kind of won't be on like a podcast like this or go on a radio station. More your public figures, and I can ask them the questions that the viewers want in an environment where they're comfortable.
Cool.
So I wanted, that's the plan with 2020. We're not going to knock out the Roswell High state game video. We're not releasing until Wednesday because we got a surprise on at the pep assembly. We'll have that out there though. What else we got? I'm still knocking out music videos. Anybody needs music videos, hit me up. But I'm not trying to do a lot, so.
So if you want in, get in there.
Yeah,
and
hit it in now
like-
because
He's not rocking with you.
I mean, I'm working on like a motocross video for these twins out of Carlsbad. They're gonna be super pros. Like I'm doing all kinds, you know. And for a while there, I lacked, and I was just like, I'm gonna stick to myself. And over the past like couple months, I was like, you know what? Nah, let me use my platform and my experience and my skills for good. So help out you guys in the podcast any way I can. Just everything around, you know.
Hell yeah,
That's
man.
my goals. Nothing for me, just to help.
Sounds like a lot of help. We need more people that can help the fucking community. That's what we're trying to do. Anyways, appreciate you, my dude. Thank you guys that are watching still. Please like, subscribe, and share. Again, have a blessed day. Catch y'all later. Beer Bros out. Peace.